Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the largest city on the Arabian Peninsula with a population of nearly 8 million people. Riyadh is the capital of Saudi, and it is also referred to as the cultural capital of the country. Today, we are going to take you inside the city and show you what this metropolis is like, and even take you to some new heights in the city. We are 99 floors above the ground. Later on, we are going to explore a place called the Bujari Terrace, which is located in Durya, and that happens to be the birthplace of Saudi Arabia. And we will finish off the video exploring a bit of Saudi at night. But first, we must introduce you to the famous Saudi coffee scene. Today is my first day in the beautiful country of Saudi, my 63rd country, and I'm here, guys, in the busy Riyadh. Now, I'm just right outside of the airport area, so I haven't gone fully into the city yet, because I wanted to stop first and grab myself a coffee. And I just picked a random place, and it's called High right here. I did look it up, and it looks like it's got great reviews. There's a couple different branches. This one's a bit more on the outskirts in the middle of the brand new construction here. And so I think it's important that I show getting a coffee on my first day in Saudi, because coffee culture is so freaking big. Marhaba, marhaba, brother. So you got the best coffee in Riyadh here, yeah?
Yes.
And tasty donuts?
Yes, definitely.
Freshly made here. So which one's the best donut here?
I like this one, kunafa donut.
Oh, kunafa. Oh, so that's Saudi original then, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Oh, these all look good. And we've got a little Oreo tart there. That looks really good. And za'atar and cheese.
Yes.
Wow. And za'atar and Nutella. That's got to be a wild set of flavors to mix together. All right. I'm going to need you to try one of the typical glazed ones. I will test out one of those. And I'm so tempted to buy all of them, but I don't think the belly is going to be able to take that many down. Okay, we'll try one of those too. And do you have iced latte?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Look what we got here. 2 boxes of donuts. Oh, it slides out the side. Oh, that looks fantastic. Well, I guess we're gonna have to try this one to start out. That right there is katir tayyib, brother. It's got a nice doughy filling to it. And then on the inside, you just have a little surprise of Nutella. You pop that right out. We've got a Kanafe donut. We've got like the typical donut flavor to it, but at the top you could probably hear there's that crunch. Oh yeah, that is how you start out a morning right there. Iced latte. So the reason why the coffee culture is so huge in Saudi is obviously over the last few years, Saudi has put a ton of investment into building up their cities, building up their culture, kind of transitioning the way of life to spend a lot more time, socializing with people in these new types of establishments all around the city. So as you may or may not know, Saudi is a dry country, so there's not alcohol here. But of course, people want to go out with their friends and do stuff at night. And so what has come to become like the place of hangout in Saudi over the years is really nice high-end coffee shops. All right, we got our coffee in our system. Time to head to the first place. Yalla! As I was driving through Riyadh for my first day, my initial expectation of Riyadh was aligning quite well, as it is an absolute metropolis of infrastructure and ongoing construction. What I did not expect was how spread out everything is. From one side of the city to another can keep you in a car for quite a while, but what I did notice is they designed their highways to run through the cities and keep the flow of traffic moving much faster than traditional city streets. Speaking of infrastructure, we have arrived to our next place. Look at this. They even have the plants right here carved out just like the building shape. Oh, that's impressive. I've never seen that before on a skyscraper. Well, even the roadblocks right there too are in the shape of the towers. All right, and we have located it, the Sky Bridge Experience, Sky Bridge line. I just got on the elevator. I got lucky because I went to the bathroom and then the entire elevator full of people went up, so I got my own elevator up, which is pretty rare. So yeah, we're heading up to the 99th floor. 90, 91. All right, and we have made it up. When we walk over this, there's like an opening under here. Welcome to the Sky Bridge here at Kingdom Center. We are 99 floors up in the air, and directly under me is a huge drop. This is a little terrifying. Now I see why this is what you come up here to do when you're in Saudi. You can actually see the layout of the city so much better because it's so flat here in the desert. When you're just driving through these roads for a really long period of time, you can't really tell where you are unless you know the city. But once you are up here, you can actually see the layout of the city. Like I was told when I first, like before I came to Riyadh, that the city stretches, I don't remember, like 120 kilometers wide or something like that. That might be a bit of an exaggeration. But like now when you're up here, you can actually see that. I mean, you have these two main roads that probably flush in and out most of the traffic, leading into like one of the downtown city centers. And then over here, we've got another set of like pockets of larger buildings here, a couple iconic ones like the one with the globe up top there. And so it's a really interesting laid out city. Obviously it's much different than like US cities, where like in US cities you have a downtown and that's where all of like the main large buildings are, whereas in most other like countries, I would say, in the main cities there are a bunch of like pockets of larger buildings. Ticket price to go up was $18.40, so that's like 69 Saudi Riyal. So I mean, it's not a bad price to get obviously all the way up here. I mean, we had to go up 99 floors, so, and then you get these crazy views. I mean, I wasn't sure if we were gonna find like a cafe or something else up here, but it's kind of a smaller area once you get up. So assalamu alaikum ya khair. So شو اسمك؟
نواف.
نواف؟ من وين بسعودي؟
أنا من المدينة في السعودية.
قد كيلومتر من هون؟
من هنا 700 إلى
700. اوكي. أول مرة بسكاي بريدج؟
أول مرة.
أهلا وسهلا يا خي. شو اسمك؟
فارس.
فارس. شرفنا. شو اسمك؟ موسى. شرفنا. So new friend.
تصير أنت تتعلم الناس عربي.
إيه بحكي Arabic بس subtitles بالإنجلش.
العربي عندك.
لازم نتمرن كل يوم.
يا سلام.
معك يا خي. يلا شرفنا. بنشوفكم إذا الله راد. إن شاء الله. Met some new friends here from Saudi, so that's awesome. Super friendly and welcoming, and I definitely got them so surprised when I started speaking Arabic. It always catches people so off guard because they don't expect Americans to know Arabic so casually. So we just went over to the other side here, and the visibility today is great. So like I think obviously like if there was some sort of sandstorm right now, we wouldn't be able to see this far out, but I would say we'd be able to easily see, I don't know, 30 kilometers out, 40, maybe even more than that. It's a really cool thing to do when you get up here. Like this will give you a much better layout of the city. Just going up here, I already now feel like I understand a bit more of Riyadh, and I understand a bit more of like how the city's layout is. So that's the edge right there, and as you can see, all under us is hollow. The skyscraper's only on the sides right there, and then the rest is just a big drop. So if you're afraid of heights, be ready for this. Anyways, let's keep exploring. And we are heading back down. You can also see this thing at night, which is pretty spectacular. I think that's when even more people go. I mean, in general, Saudi really opens up at night anyways, but this will give you right here an idea of what you can find a lot of in Saudi. Like so many high-end malls, and this is such a good example of it. Like, just look at this. We have 3 floors. Everything is just shiny around me. Like chrome colored, high end. You have those really strong smells. I would say like, all malls around the world you're gonna find a lot of scents, but I'd say definitely in the Arab world there are so many more exotic scents that I've never smelled, and there, I'd say more shops per mall than like malls outside of the Middle East, especially here in Saudi with like the Arabian Oud. This is the high-end side of Saudi. I'd say we should do a little walk around and see what we can find. And look at this, we've got a bridge that just leads us right across. You can tell this is one of the really high-end malls. We've got Dior, we've got Louis Vuitton, we've got Gucci on that side, all these other like really well-known international high-end brands. There are a lot of great fragrances walking through. Ooh. That smells so freaking good. And then just walking by, get a little of that smoke on you, and now you smell good for the day. So this is the building. I do love how they have palm trees inside of the building. I don't know if they're real, but they definitely look pretty awesome. I will say driving here in Riyadh is very similar to the US. I mean, there are some differences, don't get me wrong. I am used to driving in the Middle East. The sign colors are the same. The roads are generally very similar in terms of construction and how they're designed. I mean, the main difference here is they use like metal to separate the lines, which you don't find as much in the US, but obviously we're driving on the right side rather than the left side in a lot of the other parts of the world. And yeah, I mean, you have signs in Arabic, that's one difference. But other than that, like, honestly, the driving experience is quite similar. People here don't use turning signals as much. The white paint on the lines, a lot of people kind of like drive in between them, or sometimes when they're passing, they drive like this. Overall, it's very simple, I'd say, knock on wood, to drive here. There's where we're going, right there, Diriyah. All right, we are arriving to Diriyah. This is insanely large. I am in shock. They're basically creating an entire new city that has like a modern infrastructure yet aligned with traditional design, which is freaking awesome. I mean, all the billboards here saying workplaces for creatives and professionals. I'm gonna have to come back and stay here. And boom, we have parked and made it to Diriyah. I think that's how it's supposed to be said, Diriyah. Diriyah, the city of earth. And I will tell you, when you walk out, you are impressed. I mean, we just walked from this parking lot right here. Obviously, they're still building it up. But right here, they have this place outfitted super well. And I will tell you, like, over the next 6 years, I guarantee you, every year I come back to Saudi, we're gonna have a completely different feeling because of how much development's happening. I mean, everywhere in the city right now on a Saturday is like construction noises, stuff being built. A lot of stuff is already built at this point, but obviously like their 2030 plan of like building this mega city, mega country, so many mega projects. We are at the very innocence of it still, the beginnings. So let's head over this way. I'm not even sure where to go. The one thing I can tell you is this whole area is so big. And the first place looks like we're gonna be going over to is the Bujari Terrace. Yatik al-afi. So we're gonna head over this way and see what we're gonna find inside this place. I think it's a huge mix of many different things that are built right now. I wanna say over here we have like terrace restaurants. We have also like gift shops, a few other places. So once we get in on this side, we'll be able to show you more on what's inside. So this answers my question. You can get a ticket right here last minute. Scan that and then purchase it. All right, well, I got lucky. The ticket cost is 0, but I guess in 1 hour and 30 minutes, it'll be 50 Saudi Riyal. So there we go, we'll pay for our free ticket. And boom, we got them. All right, and we are walking in. We've got these like metal things here, which is quite interesting, but it's like awesome. It's custom made. As you can probably guess, there are not that many people out during the day because it is October time frame, like going into November, and so it is still relatively hot out. Most people in Saudi pretty much spend their evenings going out exploring places like these. I'm guessing that's part of the reason why the ticket was 0 SAR to go in right now, because it's 3:30 p.m. because like the evening is when people want to come in. It's probably free to just get people in here because it's kind of quiet during the day. Walking through here, it's got a great vibe. Like there's surround sound at all moments, or at like all areas you walk around. Obviously we've got stuff for the kids right here and a lot of restaurants, but I decided not to make a reservation because I was like, I'd rather walk in, see which one I'm feeling, see which one has some cool views, and then select the restaurant that way. It is kind of nice to see it during the day, even though there's less people, so you don't get that evening energy. But you can definitely compare it to the level of detail that you'll find in places like Dubai, where every square inch of the place is, you know, carved out to a very detailed level of perfection. Every tile, every carving, everything is thought out, and that's what I appreciate. And that's one of the things that I've loved about Dubai, that I'm really excited to see, you know, Saudi's version of it, is like, not to say one's like the other, but to more say that like they're both aiming for incredibly high levels of detail and quality, while also building in this this feeling of like the culture, you know, like this is very, very modern, right? But at the same time, it's very, very cultural at the same time. And what I mean by modern is that like the designs and how it was built and you know, the level of infrastructure of this place, but like the color schemes and the styles of the buildings, all of those make it still very special and traditional. I continued walking around El Bujari after stopping by the tourist area. I just walked out of the tourism visitor hub right there, and it was quite quiet around this time, but I actually enjoyed having the whole area to myself. I got a moment to really take in the culture, stroll through the alleyways, and I even encountered some really unique areas that I feel like really bridged the past to the present of the overall heritage of the park. This is pretty awesome though, how they've rebuilt it and added their own touch to it. I think these are welded too. Oh yeah, that's like super strong. So I've been cruising through the alleyways and it's pretty quiet right now. I bet this place will get a bit more filled up with people here in the next couple hours because it is a Saturday. But I do like the time that we're here. We've got the sunset probably 1 hour away from setting now, and so you have these really beautiful reflections out here. And look at this over here. They are building far down into there. It looks like a bit of excavating there. Yeah, I can imagine this place is gonna have like souks and shops inside of here and food and maybe some street performers. This is what I would imagine it to be like once it's like fully operational, because it needs that life. You know, you can physically see the traditional style architecture here and living, but you need that presence of those like cultural figures, things being, you know, sold along here, the smells of, you know, Arabian oud. That'll really just add to the total essence of this place, which they probably have it some days. Over here, it looks like they've got it set up for some workshops. That is so cool. Look at that, workshops right there. What do we got going on here? Selling a little dates there, the good stuff. مرحبا يا خيي كيف كل شيء؟
اخبارك طيب؟ حياك الله شرفت.
كتير طيب؟ ديتس اسمه ديتس؟ تمر. طيب حلو.
هذا تمر
من سعودي eh? Let's try one of these out. I bite it?
Where's the store gonna be? Here from the
كتير طيب.
Okay. بالعافية.
الله فيك. These are very popular. صقعي. ما بعرف هاي الكلمة.
ايوه هذا تمر اسمه صقعي.
شكرا. شو اسمك؟ راكال. أنا اسمي ماك. شرفنا.
اهلا وسهلا فيك، شرفنا فيك.
شكرا.
حياك الله.
يعطيك ألف عافية.
الله يعافيك.
So we got something going on right over here too. Oh. Not sure what's going on there, but that was pretty energetic. Some local kids bringing some tires there. مرحبا يا خيي كيف كل شيء؟ الحمد لله بخير. كيف حالكم؟ الحمد لله. تفضلوا يا هلا. هونيك ايه؟ شكرا. This is what I like to feel. There's a lot more life on this side, interacting with the locals and, you know, getting some of that excitement. شكرا يا خي يعطيكم العافية. مرحبا. مرحبا. And it's freaking delicious. I guess you pop the seed out and finish it off. Seed goes there. It tastes like a natural donut. Like a natural glazed donut, which is so tasty. So where we just got here now is where the destruction of a mosque happened during the siege, September 1818. So you can see what's left of the remains here. But it looks like we've got ourselves a cafe right over here we're gonna try out called Cafe Batil, which is right here with some mist spraying out. And it looks like a good time to stop and have a little bite to eat. So let's go ahead and do this. So it's a good thing that I waited till you know, maybe 30-40 minutes into walking around to find a place to eat, because I found one that has incredible views here. Here you have some, you know, incredible views right in front of you of like palm trees, a lot of greenery, and then some of that architecture just peeking out right on top. Now, the one thing is they do serve Italian food here, which I do love Italian food. It's probably my favorite cuisine, but right now I want to try something very local. So I found the only thing pretty much that they have on the menu that's local, which is a sharing platter of like hummus, also like 3 or 4 different things like quinoa, and some specialty items on there, as well as some traditional Saudi coffee that I guess is going to be served in a Saudi type of way. So we will find out exactly what that means in just a few moments. So we will see you in just a second with the food. And there it is. We have this delicious meal. A hummus beetroot.
The hummus carrot and carrot tartar.
Oh, so it's mixed with carrots in there? Oh,
and
very
we
nice.
have also the pita bread.
Pita bread?
Yes.
Alright.
And we have this one, the baba ganoush, like an eggplant.
Baba ganoush
With
eggplant.
the pomegranate seed and the quinoa tabuli, like a quinoa tomato inside na.
Ooh,
and the
yeah.
lettuce also.
Amazing.
This one is a labna duka and the labna powder, labna duka powder.
Okay.
This one made it with the hazelnut spicy.
Ooh, alright. Very
And we have
exotic.
also the black olives and the feta cheese and the za'atar and the dill.
That sounds fantastic. And this is walnut?
For this one is a wholesome bread, and this one for the date pecan bread.
Oh, pecan bread. Oh, okay. Very nice. Thank you so much. First, we got to go ahead and make sure we get some coffee in here. Actually, though, it's in Saudi culture to not fill the glass up all the way, so this is not the accurate way they do it. Actually, in Saudi, they'll fill it up about 1/4 of the way, and you think like, oh, why am I getting such a small cup of coffee? But the reason is they want you to stay. So if they fill up a cup like that almost all the way, that means they want you to leave. Like how I just filled it up. She filled it up for me 1/4, and that basically means like whenever you finish a cup of coffee, usually people will leave, right? Like in most of the world. So if you fill up a small cup of coffee, then you'll keep having more and more, and so that's their way of basically being hospitable and saying, here's a partial cup of coffee, stay for as many as you want. Oh, that is fantastic. I don't even know where to start here, but I do want to try this bread because it is very rare in any of the countries I've been to that I find nuts in this way, like basically, I guess, cooked into the bread and then sliced up like this. Yeah, it's got a really fresh flavor to it. You can tell that bread was made today. The nuts are light, add a nice simple taste to it, but really good. I think the first thing I'm gonna try here is going to be the hummus beetroot. I don't know, there's just something about like this pink look right there that looks just absolutely delicious. So let's get a nice amount there, make it count. Well, that's really good. It is very different from hummus I've had. Obviously, I've made a lot of videos in all over the Middle East, but specifically in Lebanon. Lebanon's got great hummus. This is a more like a lighter hummus, like in terms of the thickness, a bit more creamy, but the beetroot gives it more of a, I don't want to say a sweeter taste, but like just a more unique taste. Like hummus has a very distinct flavor, and this changes. It's hard to explain, hard to relate it to anything. And this one is with carrots in there, so it gives it this like golden look. Ooh, I like that one more. They're both good, but I think the carrot one, that one just sits super well on the taste buds. All right, now let's test out this quinoa. It's got the texture of quinoa, a bit of flavors from like tabbouleh in it, and some sweet in there. Maybe it's those pomegranate seeds that are mixed in there. When I took a bite of it, that it kind of infused those. And now we've got the baba ganoush. Let's get a nice hefty scoop on there. The eggplant. Eggplant's good. If I were to rate them in order, I'd say carrot hummus, beetroot hummus. No, carrot hummus then the quinoa, beetroot hummus, eggplant, and then last but not least, we do have the lebanese that I think has hazelnut in it. Boom, fast forward like 30 minutes. I sat there and relaxed and enjoyed the beautiful sunset in those last moments, and it just feels incredible walking through here. The amount of people are starting to pick up in some of the areas. This is like a quieter area, but you can see how nicely this place is lit up. We've got the hanging lights right there. We've got the orange lighting this up. It just adds a completely new experience at the evening time once the sun goes down. So this is pretty awesome. And now we're going to be heading back towards the exit here. So I'll show you guys what the place looks like on our way out. You got to see what this whole area looks like at night, because it really is just like a whole new place at night. And that's what I find in Saudi to be the case. Like, it has a whole different personality once the sun goes down. You can see maybe right up there, those are all the spotlights, I'm guessing from Boulevard season, Riyadh Boulevard. And here we go. So we explored a lot of this area earlier, and now you can see kind of the lighting opening up all of the different areas at night. And look at this. This is so impressive. Truly, yeah, the time to come here is for sure at night. Like, during the day has a nice charm, but like at night you kind of have a mix of like, you know, very like desert, Middle Eastern historic feel that is just hard to beat. So beautiful. Now we're almost back by where the entrance was. We've got some recognizable names like Hakkasan over there, and a lot of the restaurants. Like over on this side, right where you walk in, like all of the developments are pretty much done. And like you have all these restaurants. These are the ones that you, I guess, need a reservation in order to book them. But like you can see how elite this place looks at night when it's lit up. You have these like high-end restaurants mixed in with the, you know, the old style architecture. You even have like, I think that's a well, like back in the day when they used the pulley system. So it's pretty incredible to see how they have this place laid out. It's 6:12 p.m. I bet this place at 8 or 9 p.m. is so full of people. I mean, it's already like 50x from what I saw earlier, just to once again attest to the fact that people in Saudi love to come out at night. Obviously now the temperatures are much better, people are done with work, and like the nights are just later than, you know, in a lot of other parts of the world where you're going to bed in like 2-3 hours once the sun goes down. Here the day's just getting started. And that is a wrap. We are leaving this place. It has been such a fun time. And that was a fun afternoon and evening in Diriyah. Now it is time to do our last thing of the night, which is head over to a really cool place known as Via Riyadh, which is a very upscale and high-end complex that has everything from high-end hotels, restaurants, luxury brands, and so much more. I don't want to spoil it yet because we just arrived. Let's head in. And we have just made it over to Via Riyadh, which is one of the most luxurious spots to roam in the evening, and you're gonna see why. Look at this. We are coming up and we are surrounded by all of the buildings pretty much lit up in these like mural like lights, which is absolutely incredible. So we're gonna do a walk around this area, and you can see like the projector screen all the way up there, and a lot of like really high-end designer brands. That's the main entrance right there. You can see all of the jewels down there hanging from there, that chandelier. That's the Lebanese designer right there. So it's like as high-end as it gets, and there's some pretty incredible views as we walk around this way. So we're gonna walk right over here. Yeah, here's a really nice look at Via Riyadh. It's a little quiet tonight. I'm guessing most people are at the main events tonight, but really well designed. Fountains flowing all around here, even some waterfalls in the distance. And so up here I think it's all like shops and areas, maybe a couple restaurants built into here, but I think most of the restaurants are actually down, and it's retail mainly on the first level here. So it's a pretty big place. You can spend some time in the evening exploring. So if you really want to live the high life, I believe parts of this is actually St. Regis Hotel. I want to say on this side of it too. That's why I don't see as much signage, but that says lobby bar, and one of the entrances over there is specific for it. And we're gonna take the escalator down so we can check out more. And here we are on the bottom level here. Look at this. We've got this whole area pretty much candle lit walking through here. This is majestic. They know how to do it the high-end way here in Saudi. A lot of areas to kind of like sit around, relax. Looks like we've even got like some surrounding cafes all along here, and a little pond that you can kind of just look out and relax at. So we've got cafes on this side. Looks almost like a bar. I mean, Saudi is a dry country, so it's probably not actually a bar. A sky lounge. And so quite a few different options to eat at. We've got some high-end cars. So that's how you know you got some serious money if you can come do a little bit of car shopping right here. Latest Range Rovers and Mercedes. That's pretty awesome. And this is all technically outdoor. It's like open air mall, like partially indoor, partially outdoor. And let's check out what's going on over here. Full on chandelier right there. So we've got a cinema and the cafes that we already went by. And then on this side, it looks like we've got even more restaurant options. This seems like the type of place I would want to take my wife on a date, Mabel on a date. Because coming here El Solo, you definitely can do it, but it's got that romantic vibe. Even a cigar lounge right over there. So I think these are the staircases that lead us back up to where we came from. But yeah, super high end. I'm impressed. And that is a wrap for our first full day here in Riyadh. I actually have another video on Riyadh, but I decided to release it before this video, which is what I did on my second night, and that was visiting Riyadh season for opening night. This video is actually filmed after, but I wanted to release the other one first because everyone wants to know how opening night was. So definitely check out that video if you haven't seen that one. And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.